Every day it's getting closer to driving my bus while I have a heat stroke. Because it's too hot for this crap. There's a throwback to my first video. Excuse me, 178. Why do you have a... You know what? I'm not even gonna question it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of internet land. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another bus vlog. Because you guys are absolutely taking the piss out of me in the comments for it having been 3 weeks, and due to the chaotic nature of life right now, I'm not even sure when I'm going to be able to edit this. Maybe soon, maybe not. So, what we're going to do today is, I'll probably mention bits and pieces of what I've been up to. But, I'm at the yard a few minutes early because I need fuel. And I wanted to come down here and do this while there wasn't going to be a time crunch or a long line of people. So first things first, I'm gonna open these so we can start to bleed out some hot air, because this thing feels like a kettle in here. What the frick was that? That's just a rogue leaf. Okay, and now I've got a poltergeist moving my door. Cool. Welcome back, Lane. You don't record for 3 weeks and you come back to this. Did I leave that counter on? Yes, I did. Oops. Let's turn that off so I don't kill the battery. Right. Same old, same old. Today is, if you're wondering, Tuesday, lol, Thursday, October 2nd. Yeah, I feel kind of out of rhythm. So, I'm not sure why that fell down there, because that is supposed to be in my makeshift lost and found. People actually do come get stuff occasionally, and then sometimes it just sits there forever. Oh, what do you think? I added the little flag right here. I put it up for 9/11, and then I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. I'll just leave it. I had it up there in that fan, which works except for when you need to, I don't know, use said fan. So I moved it down to this air vent. That and the cross has been moved to the mirror, so it just kind of free hangs right here. So it's not slapping into that window every 5 seconds. And the other thing is, this counter, I like hooking it on this. That's the best spot to put it, but I'm always scared it's gonna fall off, because sometimes, especially in the morning, I like driving with this window open, so I would hang it down there, but it's awkward to get to when it's right there. So I've put it here with reinforcement to make sure it doesn't fall off, so I can keep it in the good spot. Bunch of little oddball things going on. I've got a pair of AirPods in there that somebody left, and they have not claimed yet. So let's go out here. I don't understand why at the beginning of October it is currently still in the 80s temperature wise. Welcome to Georgia. But we've got a decent on and off breeze going today, and it's very, very, very slightly less hot than normal, which is unusual, but I'll take it. So let's go ahead and pre-trip. Oh, and that's the other benefit of me getting here this time, is the fact that nobody else is running right now, so you can actually hear what I'm saying. I see one driver over there though, so we're probably going to hear another bus here in the next couple minutes. Turn this back through. Oil levels fine and dandy. I would really love to just take a pressure washer to this and a cleaning rag, because like you get like this permanent dirt buildup, especially when they're adding grease in here, so then it gets kind of a sticky hold and then it doesn't go anywhere. But as far as I can tell, everything down there is fine. You can see I'm now a geologist. I have some small rocks and sand being stored right here. That's not on purpose, that was a joke. Right, that belt feels fine. Let's come back around here. Never fails, there's a noise as I'm recording. Like, it's almost funny actually how that happens. This belt feels fine. Will you stop? Of course you're gonna back up right next to me. Of course you're gonna back up right next to me. Okay. I noticed this morning my coolant was starting to get low. Thankfully, I've got a spare jug right here. Seriously? Thank you. So, oh, and he shut down too. Nice. So, I'm gonna come over here, and it's not terribly low. Like, this bezel is like the full line, and there's the cold line, so it's down to half. So, I could probably run it for another couple of weeks and be fine, as slowly as it seems to go down. But since I have the time to do it, and no good reason not to, we will go ahead and refill this. Now let's see if I can do this without spilling it everywhere like I did last time. Maybe. I don't have a funnel. Chug, 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 chug. Is that close? Just a hair more, I think. That seems to be pretty much at the full line. I just had to put some coolant in my truck too. Obviously not this kind. This is made for like heavy duty diesel engines. I went and got the correct kind. So we'll stick this back on. And I think my wiper tank needs to be refilled. Yeah, that is some apocalyptic sludge going on in there. That's not great. Okay. So we might can do that too, since the water hose is right over there. I will tell you though, one thing that happened while I was off camera, I got a new blinker handle for this bus because the old one, the wiper switch was screwing up and it was turning on the wipers on their own without me telling them to. And it wasn't like an intermittent thing, it was like every 30 seconds and then every 15 seconds. And then it just randomly happened non-stop and it was about to drive me insane. So I took 171 in and they pulled that handle out and replaced it because that was the easiest way to fix it. So that happened, and you know, I'm pleased to report as soon as that happens, the next day or the next shift even, the problem was fixed and I did not go insane. I later went insane due to shenanigans just with life being busy. But alas, I'm still alive, I'm still here, I'm still fine-ish. And I'm gonna turn that down straight away, so I do not want to hear some old woman's voice come over the radio. Are we above 12 volts? Yes. Wakey, wakey. All right, strobe can come on, those can come on. Throw some fast idle in. Straighten that up for a second. The air tanks are pretty well holding the air from this morning. It does not bleed out as fast as 99 did. Speaking of 99, I saw that bus for about 30 seconds the other day, and then she disappeared again. Such is the norm, I guess. All right, so we've got about an hour till we have to be at the high school, so we're doing plenty good on time. Back above 13 volts finally, which means I can kick in the air condition. I'm about to shut off again, so it's not going to do a whole lot of good. But let's see if I can get the rear one going. There we go. This is why I need to figure out a solution for the GoPro mic, because this happens and now you can't hear me. That is not what I wanted to do. All right, let's pressurize that. Air pressure's fine. I've got about a quarter tank of fuel, so that comes out to like 25 gallons, which is slightly less than half a tank on 99. So in theory, I'm like, I could probably survive on that, but I'm not going to. I have the time to do it, so we will go ahead and do it right now. I'll do the rest of the pre-trip after this. I don't want the, oh, that was tight. I don't want the thing to scream at me, because if I hit the ambers now, it's gonna make me walk to the back and hit the button, because it thinks I picked up a kid, even though I didn't. So we're gonna do this first, and then I'll take the bus back over there and let the AC do its thing for a bit. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to worry about the wiper tank right now, because it's the middle of the day. That may come back to bite me, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. What I am going to do, there's all our baby birds and our Minotaur. Yeah, you'll notice one of the white tops over here in the sick bay being worked on. That bus was towed in this morning, and I don't know why. I was not told why, but I can say confidently it was nothing to do with exhaust filtration, because that bus does not have it. All right, we'll shut down right here. 77731. I didn't log into the tablet. 77731 is our odometer. So we'll go back here, and I will attempt to get this stubborn thing open. Can you stop wrapping yourself up like that? All right, maybe if we do that, will that keep it from, there we go. That will keep it from contorting over on itself. All right, now this thing never takes the mileage I give it on the first try. It says it's too high. So let's see if it will actually take it. Nope, says too high. Now, if I go in again and just put in the same number, it will take it. And there's no way to clear this error message off. You just have to sit here and wait for it to go away. It's very frustrating. See, same number, now it works. Punch 1 for diesel. Open that. Come over here. There it goes. Set it running. And that's all there is to it. Leave that there so I can then close that. Other than that, I'm going to sit here and wait for diesel. And then we will finish the pre-trip and get underway to the high school. This is going to take a minute because it's a 100-gallon tank. And based off that indication in there, I'm going to have to put 70 gallons in, at least. That's a rough guess. So I was a little bit off. 60, about to be 62 gallons. But the other part of this is, if I walk back here so you can see it, because I'm sitting on a hill, all of the fuel is tricking this thing into thinking the tank is full, even though it isn't. But because I'm on a hill, so because I'm sitting on a hill, all the fuel back here is running up to the front, and so it's tricking that thing into thinking it's full when I've really got a little bit of extra room back here. All right, frick me, it's hot in here. Close that. It's so loud too. There we go. Start. Stand on the brakes so it doesn't fast idle yet. Headlights, markers, strobe, air conditions all the way up. All right. I know I don't have my seatbelt on. Shut up. Make sure nobody's about to plow into me. And what I'm gonna do now is go back over here and finish the rest of the pre-trip and give the air condition some time to actually do its thing. And then in a few minutes we will get underway, headed to the high school. What in the unholy what has happened to my window right here? Looks like a dadgum bug got disintegrated right there. Let me get over here out of 212's way. We'll pull up here, I guess. This should be fine. I see the hood is lifted on the tow truck, so I'm wondering if there's something wrong with the tow truck, which is hilarious that that truck just brought in that white top bus that is now moving on its own, and now the tow truck seems to have something wrong. Great, because that's just what we need, isn't it? That's a terrible duster. Hold on. I don't understand how I get dust everywhere. You may, like, it looks like I'm 80 years old living in this bus every day, because I just get random dust everywhere. I know this is not good as a duster, but it's the only decent thing I have. Dusty, dusty everywhere. Go away. All right, let me. How does this happen? All right, let's try this again. Set them right there. Yay. Now I'll actually clock in, or attempt to. There we go. No, driving 171 p.m. Yes, start route. Perfect. Now, I need to come over here and fix this because I'm behind on paperwork. The October started midweek, so those columns don't do anything. I did my post trip yesterday and forgot to write it down, so let me write down that I did it. And then I also did it this morning and didn't write it down. Goodness gracious. This was so much easier when we could do it on a tablet. I have fixed my paperwork. This water is hot, so I'm gonna take that inside and get some cold. And we're also gonna do the outside pre-trip. You know what I'm trying to say. I do my inspections. I just forget to write them down. I get to going, I do my inspection, then I get driving, and then halfway through the route, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can resort that. Okay. Headlights, markers, hazards, strobe, ambers. According to this thing, they're on. Can't see because, you know, mirrors. Switch to reds, and we'll go outside. As of recently, all of the marker lights have been working correctly, so I don't know if my bus was just playing a prank because I was recording back then, or what? Back end looks good. I really need to give this thing a bath on the back. Yeah, that looks horrible. And so does the floor. Yeah, bus needs a little bit of TLC. All the lights look good though. And this is not falling off like it is on that one for some reason. Is that a 22? That's a 22. These marker lights look good. Those tires feel good. Is that light on? Yeah, it is. Hard to see, it's so bright outside. Front end looks good. So, let's go back in here, bada bing, bada boom. And, wow, okay, I see how it is. Dadgummit! I freaking hate glasses. But I cannot fathom the thought of touching my own eyeball. That's why I don't have contacts. All right, let's take a gander through the cabin. I really need to clean these windows. Not sure when I'll ever do that, but just an observation. And I'll come back here to number 4. Great job, whoever thought up this design. Let's put a seat right in front of an emergency exit. Shouldn't you line those up with where the... Well, no, because the seat spacing can be different by customer. Okay, fair enough. We'll let that slide. Buzzer works. Trash and sand everywhere. Air conditioning's doing its thing. Contemplating whether to leave these open during the drive or to close them. I think we'll go ahead and close them. Most of the hottest air that was in here is now gone. And if I leave these open, it's going to be sucking hot air back in. So we will not do that. I'll go ahead and close them. I don't know how you guys do this, but I normally go these two pointing kind of this way, this one down and angled this way because the front section of the bus gets hot, that just straight down, this one back and down so it cools off these people, and then these 3 up, center, and back to try and get air that direction, and then these down to cool off the people right here. There is a method to how I set those. Does it help at all? I don't know. I really don't know. Our new 3rd gen CEs have this front air condition right here so that it's not blowing this way, it's blowing straight back, which I guess is a good thing, but I don't know if that distance, you're increasing the distance by about 4 or 5 feet, so I don't know if that makes a difference at all trying to cool off the middle of the cabin, because I had somebody come to me, a student, that actually feels pretty good. I can feel that up here. I'm about midship right here, and I can still feel some of that air coming up here. That's good. That's good news. I had a student ask me, bear in mind, right, she was sitting right here, And these vents, I have one down to cool off the back and one up to try and send cold air up to the middle. And she came up there and she said, "Can you turn the air down? It's cold." And I pretty much told her no, because while the very back and very front cabin were getting cold, the middle cabin was still outrageously hot. Not dangerously hot, but you know, very uncomfortably hot. So I was like, no, and I kind of explained it to her. I was like, I have to keep them up because the people here suffer from it. Bear in mind, my air vents right here are pretty lackluster. So me and the middle of the bus get too hot, and the people right there and the very back, about 2 rows before the back, they get cold. The people in the very back get hot because they're almost sitting behind where the air direction is. And then they get mad and they start to move this vent, and they take both these vents and point them straight down. And I'm like, no, you cannot do that. This one is to cool off them. This one has to be pointing up there. Otherwise the people in the middle will fry. That's one thing I do like better about the older C2s like 99, because they had 4 vents there instead of 2. Like, same surface area, but imagine these 2 cut in half. And they were directional. This is just an up-down. That's all it is. But the ones on 99 were like this. It was like this 4 set. Imagine that, but back there. So I could change the up, down, and the left, right on 4 different vents. So what I would do is I would have the middle 2 comes shooting straight down the ceiling to punch cold air up towards the middle, and then I would have the outer 2 deflected outward and down to cool off the people in the rear. And that worked a lot better than having 2 solid non-directional vents. I can't stand that. But there's your lane rant for the day. All right, I'm gonna go get some water and then we will get underway. Okay, I'm back. 49's over there getting fuel. 142's headed out to the high school. Soon to be followed by us. Air conditions all the way up. So I'm gonna leave it there and let it do its thing. I've closed the ceiling hatches. The thermometer on my dashboard is reading 106 Fahrenheit. I know for a fact that's not accurate, based off just feeling the outside air. But it's 2:31, so I reckon we shall get underway. Spin it round. So I was driving behind 2680 this morning, one of those 3rd gens, and I thought he wasn't driving with his lights on until I passed him, and then I realized his headlights were on. So I thought, okay, well that's a little bit weird, because his tail lights and side markers were not. And then about halfway through the morning, they randomly came on. And then they randomly went off. And then they came back on. And then they went off. So I was very much confused, and I asked the guy driving, one of our mechanics was driving it, and I mentioned it to him when he got back to the yard. He was like, oh, crap, okay, well, had no idea. So he added that to his to-do list. And there's one of the white tops getting worked on. So, for those of you wondering where on God's green earth I've been, the answer is busy and stressed. September, October is always sort of the grind months, if you will. And the reason I say that is a lot of my time has been or a lot of my free time even, has been doing my volunteer job, which is the media guy for the high school marching band. So, my brother and I right now are the main people doing it. So on any given Friday night, I'm filming and he's doing photos. So then during the week, I have a photo album to do of pictures to, you know, anywhere from 200 to 1,000 photos that I've got to sort through and edit the good ones and then make an album cover and publish them. And then I've got the highlight video from the week from the football game to do. Well, this past Saturday, today's October 2nd, this past Saturday was their first contest. So I'm doing a photo album from that and the behind the scenes video of the entire trip, traveling. And then this weekend is a parade they're marching in, so I've got to do a video from that and a photo album from the contest right after that. There's another contest this weekend, this coming weekend, so I'll have a video from that hopefully. And if they win the contest, then not only do I do the behind the scenes video, but I also do like a emotional celebration video of like everybody celebrating after they won. I started doing that a couple years ago and people loved it, so I kept doing it. But anyway, so my typical day right now goes as follows. 5 a.m., wake up, drive down here, get the bus, do the morning route, park the bus, and I go back to the house. And at that point, either I go to my second job, or if he doesn't need me on that given day, then I start working on the band stuff. Or if I'm just flat out exhausted, then I'll go back to sleep for a couple hours. Then I get back up, or leave work, or pause the band stuff, whatever it is, drive back down here, get the bus, go do the afternoon route. Then I get to 5 o'clock in the evening, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening. I take the bus, park it back there because I finished the route. And he's turning to the right, so we're going to give him some swing out room. Or he says he is. Yeah, there he is. And then I go home, have dinner, and kind of chat with the fam or whatever. Do a little bit of band editing at night, if I can, and then go to bed, because I know I have to be up at 5 a.m., so I don't want to stay up too late. And sometimes I do stay up too late editing, so then it's 11 o'clock, midnight, whatever, when I go to bed. And then I get up at 5. Well, then I'm extremely exhausted because I was trying to be productive. So then, if I'm not working my other job, then I come home and I'm like, well, I need to edit, but I really need to catch up on sleep. So then I do that. So, you know, and then I don't have enough time to get everything finished before the next Friday night comes, and then I'm recording again. And then my pileup of stuff to edit just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and my amount of sleep I get gets smaller and smaller, you know. So 2 jobs plus that, plus, you know, other obligations, other odds and ends of stuff I've got to do. It all, you know, it adds up to the point that, and you might be thinking, well, you just record this while you're doing this job anyway, so it shouldn't cost that much extra time, right? And I would say wrong. Recording would be easy because I just strap a camera to my head and go. The hard part is once I record, I have to have the time to sit down and edit through the whole thing, then let it export for several hours, which I usually do while I'm out at work, then come back and have to watch the final render to make sure it's right, and then try to upload the whole thing. So it takes a lot more time after I record a bus video to actually get it up. I'm not asking for sympathy, I'm just telling you that's just how it is. You know, Dave can crank out bus videos a little bit quicker because I know he's a busy guy, but he also is retired, so he has some more time at his disposal to be able to do stuff like this. So that's why he's been cranking out several videos and I've been, you know, radio silent. I wish this radio was silent, but I digress. So yeah, and I'm still, you know, as I record this, I'm still in the midst of this chaos, so I'm not really sure when this video is going to be edited and uploaded. So don't take this video as, oh, he's back. I may not be. I might be, I might not be. I'm not sure. We'll just kind of see how it plays out. But yeah, I say that to say, like, I know going into recording a video whether or not I'm going to be able to edit it, and that's why I didn't record anything, because I knew I wouldn't have time to edit it. I'm recording this now on a whim, hoping that sometime between now and Sunday I get time to edit it. But we shall see. I can only edit, you know, I'm like, this bus video, band video, photo albums, I'm like, I only have one of me and one of my computer. I kind of have to juggle things depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. I have been trying my best to read all y'all's comments, most of which have been, you know, Lane, where the heck are you? Make a video. Which I get. I mean, I'm so glad that you guys anticipate seeing the next video and you want me to hurry up. I mean, I take that as a compliment. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? All I can do is all I can do. So, it's currently 2:42. We're not very far out from the high school. I'm down to 3 bars of def. I have noticed that this bus seems to go through def faster than 99 did. I'm not sure if there's like a rhyme or reason for that, or, you know, I don't know. Now there is a Subaru with dirt caked up on the back, which logically would tell me he drove down a dirt road, but it matches the Subaru because it's like, you think, oh, rally car, well, it looks dirty, like it's been racing. Probably hasn't, man. He probably just took it down a dirt road, but, you know, I like to think that. I want Thomas to design, like, this thing, like a little guard to go over it, kind of like what my hand is doing right there, to create enough of a shadow that you can see this when it's daytime. And seeing this in the dark is hard enough because it's not very bright and it's angled this way for some reason. But seeing it in the daytime, yeah, no shot. I used to be able to just look at my mirrors to see whether or not the 8-ways are on, but, you know, I can't do that anymore because I don't have full circle mirrors. I have the half moon crescent shaped mirrors. So, you know, I spend a lot of time doing this just to make sure that they turned on correctly. I don't know why they wouldn't, but it's just a habit. Oh, here's the other thing that happened. I had one of my students get kicked out of school. Yeah. We have an alternative school. You just used the wrong blinker. That was funny. We have an alternative school where the really, really bad kids go. And apparently he did something at school that they sent him there. So now, instead of going to the middle school like normal, I pick him up, take him to the middle school, and then he transfers to a bus that goes to the alternative school. I wish we had some fall weather teenage drivers. That's where they send all the driver's ed kids. They take those cars over there and drive around they've spray painted that parking lot with like certain turns and practice stops and whatever, and they go in there and I guess teach them how to drive. I never did it. I did an online course, but I guess that's where that happens. I see them driving around sometimes when I come in here. I did a decent amount of work in that greenhouse back when I was in high school. Funnily enough, I took like a base level horticulture class. Tractor! Sorry, that caught my attention. I did like a base level horticulture class when I was in high school. Problem was, I was a senior with a bunch of freshmen who were all idiots. So we were working in the greenhouse most of the time. They couldn't keep a plant alive to save their life. I had a batch of coleus I was growing, and they were the only surviving plants to make it out of that greenhouse. Also, interestingly, I gave them to my mother, who now puts them in the flower bed, and she has kept them alive, and then they seeded out when those plants died, and she kept the next batch alive. So basically, we are now 5 generations removed of plants from those original ones that I grew, and they're still going. So yeah, I was the only student to actually grow something productive in there. I did also kill a plant. We were trying to grow tomatoes too, and that didn't work out very well. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little catch-up vlog, I guess. And considering it is a catch-up vlog, be sure to go grab some French fries in the comment section. That was a stupid joke. I'm gonna hear. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stick around. Hopefully, at some point in the not too distant future, I'll record some more stuff. But until then, be sure to go watch Dave and Nashawn and check out their stuff. Go hang out in the comments section if you feel like it, and I'll catch you down there.